Hello, everybody.
Howdy. You might need a few M&Ms for this one.
Mikey's got a good whole dish of M&Ms.
I'm not quite sure what to do with this yet. I'm still actually processing it, so it's going to be kind of hard to guess where this is going to go.
Translation, we're scratching our heads over this one. Now, there has been a rumor going around for about a week now, I have been told, and so this verifies the rumor that is going around, and, oh my goodness, like you said, don't even know where to begin.
Well, for a very long time, a lot of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have come to the conclusion that Jehovah is the organization. And you're actually going to hear that in this clip. You have to pay attention to it, and you have to be attuned to it. Because whatever the organization does, they always view it as if it's dictated from Jehovah. And it's not. The sad thing about this whole thing is that Watchtower is joining one of the many co-ops that are coming to be here in the United States. And these co-ops are giving food to charitable organizations.
Yeah, you guys heard it right. Watchtower is going to take advantage of their charity status here in the United States, and it sounds like the food is being donated to them, and they're going to hand it out to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right, to Jehovah's Witnesses, and they're to view it as if it's coming from Jehovah. You know, this is a blessing from Jehovah, but when you understand the whole co-op thing that's going on, it's really sad that the Jehovah's Witnesses still live in the mindset that all this food that's being donated is coming from people that are going to die at Armageddon. Do you not get it, Jehovah's Witnesses? This is not a living God behind the Tetragrammaton. This is your organization doing this. These are what you would deem worldly people that are going to die at Armageddon doing this. Wake up. Stop buying the Watchtower bullshit. Because that's all they're telling you is this is bullshit. Because it's worldly people that are putting these co-ops together, not some blind identity behind the Tetragrammaton. It's worldly people, people that you would just as soon not even wink at when you cross the street and see face to face. These are people that you have consigned to death that's doing this. It's not Jehovah. It's people that you have consigned to death. Change your mental attitudes about this.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, first of all, before we play the clip, I want to thank the Zemo.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That is a new term. Zoomed in, mentally out.
Yes.
And I have edited out anything that could link it back to this person. But yeah, this was interesting, and I want to thank you so much, sweetie, because my goodness, this proves the rumors going around, and you know, we've got the information. Now, I did edit out in this clip names, but at one point they even ask an individual, are you in a secure location? Because this is information that they don't want to get out. Too late.
Yeah, I mean,
I know, you're still processing.
It's disturbing because what I see, knowing the mindset of Jehovah's Witnesses, you know, when the fairy gods leave this box of food at the front door of the Jehovah Witness, and you're even going to hear them say, well, that's going to help in your monthly grocery bill. Well, guess what Watchtower is expecting? Watchtower is going to expect that the money you save on not having to buy groceries is going to be donated to JW. Excuse me.
Yeah.
A snare and a racket. Every opportunity that Watchtower can try to use and manipulate somehow, some way to get the Jehovah's to give up money, you can bet the farm they're going to do it because they're snakes. They're not doing this out of love for the Christian Brotherhood. They're doing this in dire hopes that the money that the Jehovah's Witnesses save in the grocery bill will get donated to JW. I'm having a hard time. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Maybe I better back off of the M&Ms. This is how disgusting this is.
So let's play the first clip.
A program that the branch is starting to implement. In a nutshell, we haven't been told a lot about it yet. We don't know exactly how it's going to play out. But there are like food corporations and businesses that when they get too much goods, they donate it to charitable organizations. Well, the branch has made arrangement that we're going to fall under that now. So we don't know exactly when this is going to start. It's nationwide, so it's the whole branch.
Are you in a place where you're kind of by yourself? Nobody's overhearing you?
Nobody will be able to overhear me, but
Well, there's going to be some information that we're trying to keep kind of under the radar. Okay, you good?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So they're going to address more needy congregations first. So we don't know exactly when this is going to start for our area, but basically like once a month or every other week, there are going to be semis that will arrive at Assembly Hall.
Okay.
Each congregation will have a brother go down to pick up a pallet. It will probably be about 7 feet high.
Oh, wow.
They will bring it back to an undetermined location in our county. From there, it will be divvied up for all the families in our congregation, and then will be delivered to that family. There's not going to be any interchange. So when that brother shows up with your box of goods, he's going to leave it on your doorstep.
We might give a text message letting you know that's going to be there.
Yeah. Everything hasn't been worked out just yet. So we're just being alerted to what's going to be coming. We wanted the service group to be aware of that. We were told to share this through the service group arrangement. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. Is it going to be produce, canned meats, or deli meats, or whatever? We don't know. But we are being told they'll probably have a 2-week shelf life, maybe, some of these goods. So the idea is that this is going to help us with our grocery bills, let's say. And then that money will be able to be used to care for our other pressing needs. It has nothing to do with our personal income. This is strictly across the board to everyone in the congregation. They're really highlighting the fact that this is an arrangement that the branch is implementing. Therefore, this is something that Jehovah is providing for us. That when we receive this, we want to receive it as a gift from Jehovah.
All right, very interesting. A lot of information in there. But we've got another clip here. Now listen carefully to what they say.
Listen carefully, and you're going to catch the thing about Jehovah.
But it's just, the branch is just, again, really stressing the need to protect ourselves. Because these brothers that are going to be going down, and I'm like, whew, because they have to be between the ages of what? 60?
I think it was 18 and 60.
So I'm over 60. I'm off the hook. No.
Actually, we have very few brothers that qualify in the whole congregation, both congregations. Very few brothers.
But the direction from the branch through the disaster relief committee, these brothers need to be, let's say, in good health. They can lift and carry. They have to drive down by themselves or with a family member. They can't drive down with somebody else in the congregation. We have to abide by direction from the branch. So it's just, again, and face mask when they get down there. But anyway, everything hasn't been ironed out yet. But we just want the friends to know what's coming and appreciate how the organization is moving to try and help us.
So did you guys catch it?
I did.
They don't have enough qualified brothers to even do this.
Exactly. Now, in the previous clip, they say, look at it as a blessing from Jehovah. And then they automatically turn it to the organization's taking care of you.
Yeah.
Do you catch the mind screw that's being played right here, Jehovah's Witnesses? I can see it. I can see it very plainly. They're screwing with your minds because first, it's a blessing from Jehovah. Then it's the organization is doing this for you.
Yeah.
It's not Jehovah. It's the organization.
Yeah. But it's interesting because of, the way this is set up. Now, I do want to mention that this was an impromptu Zoom meeting for just the service group. They're doing this in service groups, which means a small group. These are not being put out during the regular meeting. So they've brought it down to even more secretive. Because
Very secretive.
I think they know that there are Zemos in,
Right.
getting into the meetings, but they don't realize that there's Zemos, who are Jehovah's Witnesses still.
That's right.
So, yeah. So we've got, a little bit more information on this, but we have another clip.
Well, nobody knows. And so it's better to be prepared for something that may happen rather than get caught flat-footed.
Yeah, I do appreciate, since this all started, the branch was very quick to highlight this pandemic and the threat it posed to us health-wise. Then they very quickly maneuvered that from a illness to a financial situation. So that kind of started our food pantries. Well, now I think the branch has taken added steps because they are not backing down from this. They are still strongly advocating. We don't want to be going out more than we need to. We don't want to break our social distancing. If the government says to wear a mask, we want to wear a mask. We need to follow direction, but yet we want to keep a very low profile. We're not trying to draw attention to ourselves, to the organization. But I think they're transitioning to now a little bit to, let's face it, a security situation. Talking to, but people are very much on edge anymore. And the littlest thing is setting them off. So again, the ranch is encouraging us to keep a low profile, take steps to keep ourselves safe. And like Brother Morris mentioned, we're looking, this might go into 2021, 2022. Oh my, seriously? 2022? We don't know. But we're going to follow direction from the branch, and they're going to give the direction we need. And blessing comes from following direction.
So obeying causes you to get blessings.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Now it's interesting because he's talking about, the branch concerned about everybody and, they're being very careful And, they don't want anybody to get infected. Well, that's interesting because I just happened to have gotten an elder's letter today from Germany. Thank you, Atlantis and Petra, very much.
Let me guess. I bet the brothers in Germany are, opening up more. They're able to, intermingle more. I mean, is that a good guess or what?
That's a good guess.
That's a good guess.
Okay, I'm not going to read all of this. The house-to-house ministry will not yet be carried out until further information is received. However, you will certainly be pleased to know that in accordance with the instructions of the governing body, it is now again possible in our branch to do return visits, home Bible studies, and cart witnessing out in our local territories.
In Germany.
Yeah. However, all of this should currently only be done by publishers and for people who do not belong to a COVID-19 risk group. In addition, it may be wise to make these visits either alone or with a member of your family or someone that shares with you the same residence. All valid safety guidelines such as distancing regulations, hygiene measures, and possibly the wearing of a face mask should always be observed. So it's interesting that this guy is saying that the branch cares for us, and they're wanting us to still stay home. I thought the organization was all united in their rules and regulations.
Clearly you thought wrong.
Obviously, because in Germany now they're opening up a little bit and can do even cart witnessing.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it, friends?
Yeah, exactly. But also in that clip we just listened to, did you also catch that he said when this started, we started food pantries for the Jehovah's Witnesses? And see, we mentioned that months ago when this first started, that the elders took it upon themselves and was telling everybody to bring supplies to the Kingdom Hall so they could hand them out. And we heard from several PMOs and ZMOs and those who were fading that they didn't get anything from the congregation. The elders didn't even call to see how they were doing. So it's going to be interesting to see if any of those who have been fading, a little bit, if they're going to get their boxes of food.
It's going to be interesting to see. It's really going to be interesting to see what's really going to happen here, friends.
Yeah. But, getting back to the brothers aged 18 to 60, the qualified brothers that go down, did you catch? They have to go down alone or with a family member. Now, he also mentioned a pallet 7 feet tall of food. Now, how is one guy gonna unload this in a timely fashion, like into a truck? They're gonna have a, big truck.
I'm still trying to process it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense beyond these little, boxes that some magical fairy's going to leave at their doorstep and the money's going to flow back to Watchtower.
Yeah.
That's all I can see. This is just another gimmick that Watchtower is using because they said it earlier. It's going to help you with your grocery bills. So you're left with, disposable income. And where's it going to dispose to? To the Watchtower and Babel Crap Society.
Because they're going to be so grateful for getting these boxes of food.
Oh, Jehovah is the living God. Yeah.
Now, I want to mention that he mentioned food co-ops, cooperations. Here we just call them co-ops. So I just wanted to explain to for those of you who are not familiar with co-ops or who may be in other countries. Like a food co-op, it's direct to the farmer, and they have like these distributors, and it goes to markets and stuff, and they are the owners. There are no, it's not a huge grocery store to where there's investors and board members and all of that. So if there is leftover money at the end of the year, then the dividend goes back to the members.
Right.
Now, I was looking online, and most co-ops, you have to be a member. And most of them require a one-time fee to be a member of that co-op. Now, we happen to know a little bit about co-ops because our electric company is a co-op. It's
Yep.
not a regular, like, investor-owned electric company. And every year they send us a statement of if there was, like, over dividends or, not enough or something like that. Unfortunately, if there is a dividend left at the end of the year, they never seem to send us the money.
That's because that's applied to your next electric bill.
They don't even do that.
Yeah, snare and a racket.
So, I don't know what kind of co-op food distributor, Watchtower has signed up with. But like I said, most of them you have to have like a membership fee, even if it's just like a one-time fee of like $100. So,
That's a pretty cheap investment from Watchtower because they're going to end up getting back thousands upon thousands of donations from, the Jehovah's Witnesses that, miraculously get this box of food.
Well, okay, so this brings up another, just epiphany. Process this. They just told the Australian Joint Select Committee they don't have the institutional settings to join the redress.
Yeah, but they can sure as hell join a co-op.
So what kind of institutional settings are they going to need to set up this distribution process?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh my God, Watchtower, busted! Busted! Right?
I would agree with that statement. You're damn right I would.
I know, you're still processing the whole thing.
Well, here again, you Jehovah's Witnesses are being blindsided once again. The very people that you condemn to death because they're not a Jehovah, because they don't come to the one true organization, it's the one that's setting up all of this co-op stuff. It ain't your organization. They're just taking advantage of it because they know they have an opportunity to turn this into some cash.
Well, we know that they're using their charity status to get set up with this food distribution co-op, and we know they are not going to distribute it to needy people in the community.
No.
It's only going to be Jehovah's Witnesses that get this. Like he said, just for their congregation.
And how much you guys want to bet? How much do you want to bet that the first Jehovah Witness class that takes the food right off the top is going to be your elders? They're gonna pick through it first.
Probably.
Guarantee it.
Probably.
Guarantee it.
You ready for another clip?
If I must, pardon me.
Well, we certainly thank everyone for tying in. We know it was short notice, but this is exciting. This is another advancement of the organization taking steps to provide, not just for the organization, we're getting lost, so to speak, but this is steps taken so that we're taking care of you, we're taking care of you, we're taking care of you. This is an individual, personal thing. Jehovah's taking care of us.
This is not Jehovah taking care of Jehovah's Witnesses.
No!
This is the Watchtower having to go apply for this aid.
It's the worldly people taking care of you, Jehovah's Witnesses. That's not Jehovah. God. But here again, the first clip, blessing from Jehovah. The next clip, the organization. Now we're back to a blessing from Jehovah. What is it?
Well, you forget, dear, they're one and the same. Jehovah is the organization.
So then there's really not a living entity behind the Tetragrammaton then, right? I mean, it's not a living, invisible God. It's buildings and people.
The governing body.
Yeah, they're your gods, Jehovah's Witnesses. You got 8 of them right now. just matter of, whose ass you want to kiss the most.
Okay, now we have one last clip, and oy vey. I think Mikey's out of M&Ms. I don't know if he's going to survive this one.
I went through them pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
So this is going to continue as we get more information. It will be shared, obviously. Thank you again for coming on tonight, because we want our service group to appreciate what's going to be coming down the pipeline, and you're hearing it through Jehovah's channel, so to speak, so that you don't maybe hear it from so-and-so in this congregation. Well, nobody told us about it. Our elders don't like us. But we just wanted to get it out there so that when you hear something, isn't that awesome? What a neat provision Jehovah's making available for us. We really see the organization stepping up. It's cool. It's exciting. It's encouraging.
Is it best, not because it's secretive or anything, but is it best to just be quiet until others have had the opportunity to hear it like this, very organized, and get all the information?
It's like when we started the pantry, we were asked to, just kind of keep it down, not be telling people that you meet, outside of the congregation. So we want to keep a low profile on how we're doing this and what we're doing.
Amen Ra. Amen Ra.
What are you doing?
Amen Ra. Well, I figure since Watchtower has a channel to Jehovah, I have my channel to Amen Ra.
No, you do channeling like this.
Amen Ra. Amen Ra. Come on, Jehovah's Witnesses. The gig is up. Come on, Jehovah's Witnesses. You've heard the clip. The cat is out of the bag. You don't have to keep it silent no more. Spread the news. There's a blessing coming from Jehovah.
Well, I think it's interesting because the sister raises her hand and asks, should we keep this quiet until everybody else hears? And the elder says that to keep it quiet, like we did the food pantries, because we don't want anyone outside the organization basically getting wind of this.
So how does that not scream cult?
Well, the Mormons have food pantries. Okay, now I'm gonna agree with them. This is a good thing. If they're gonna have food pantries and helping their members, this is a good thing. Many other religions do this, but you still have to question their motive.
So that means then Watchtower is following the same step as other false religions?
Or are they listening to apostate videos that keep saying that they shouldn't have a charity status if they don't do charitable work?
Oh, such a dichotomy, huh? It's such a conundrum, Watchtower. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still processing.
Dear, by time you process all of this, the video's gonna be over.
Shit, I'm gonna have to wake up tomorrow morning and do another whole video on this thing.
But like I said, in just these few minutes of clips, there is so much information packed in of what is up with Watchtower. And so let's just kind of recap.
Just stop right there, honey. Look. If you want to recap, start from the beginning. We want to make sure that everybody catches the new name, Zemo. Zoomed in, mentally out. Are you taking notes, Watchtower?
But keep this quiet. They don't want this getting out to anyone who's not in the organization.
Or the apostates. Especially that Mike and Kim.
Definitely don't want this to get out to the apostates, so we have to keep this quiet. But it appears that Watchtower has signed up to be a member of some food co-op, distribution center. They said that this is donated food. semis are going to be rolling into the local assembly hall, bringing all of this food. They don't know quite yet what all is in these pallets. The pallet is going to be 7 feet tall, and one qualified brother between the ages of 18 and 60 is going to go get this alone with a face mask.
And you've heard to admit they don't have that many qualified brothers. So what does that tell you, friends? They're diminishing. We've been saying this for 4, 5, 6 years now, and you heard it right out of their own mouth.
So then this pallet of food is going to be taken back to an undisclosed location, their food pantries, and it's going to be divvied up, he said, between the congregation families.
So, Jehovah's Witnesses, you can, in the very near future, expect the food fairy to stop by your house. And when that happens, make sure you go to JW. Maybe you can finish that for me.
And donate.
And donate, thank you.
Now, it's going to be interesting to hear from some Zemos if when they show up with the food box, if they're going to hear from their elders asking for donations. So we'll keep
just
everybody.
about bet that.
Yeah, we'll keep everybody up to date on that. So, are you still processing, or do you have a closing statement?
A closing statement. Let me a closing statement. Well, here's the thing. We've used this clip multiple times, and there's no need to insert it here. Every Jehovah Witness and every ex-Jehovah Witness has heard, let's say, these are the last of the final part of the last days, if not the last of the last final part of the BM I'm about to finish. And yet, look at what they're doing. This is no indication that you're at the end of the last of the final past last days. I think what you guys are really at the end of is let's bowel movement.
Okay, now do you remember the bunker videos from a couple of years ago when they were in the basement?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And you see the cops busting in.
Yeah. Are there any Jehovah's Witnesses in here?
Okay, so in reality now, updating that to 2020, those are Jehovah's Witnesses down in their basement hiding from COVID-19. And that is the food distribution authorities come to give you your food box and they can't find you because you're
all
locked in your
hunkered
basement.
in your... Yeah. This is so mock-worthy. It's just unbelievable.
Well, did you even hear the brother? He's kind of mocking. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, we didn't hear it from our elders. Our elders hate us. He's mocking the elders.
Look. To that Jehovah Witness that had this little secret meeting, you leave the mocking to me. And if you don't like the way I mock it, then I have another channel for you, Coach DeFree, because that sister, she can mock pretty damn good.
Yes. Now, I know some of you, the video I did the other day where I started with a clip and they were talking about finances and calls coming in for donations, and their minimum donation was $5,000. I didn't make a comment on that clip, but I just want to mention that that was from the 2017 leaked legal department video. We did a video about it several years ago when it first came out in 2017. So that's what that clip was from. And that was interesting too, because she said that when they have these charitable planning accounts, that there's a $5,000 minimum on these. And also in that clip she mentions that a feeble little brother donated $1 million. And then at the very end, there was a feeble little old man too that donated his stock portfolio that...
Multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah, like 23 million or 32 million, something like that. But it just shows the kind of money they've got coming in. And, you know, we're always grateful that those videos are leaked to us because it just gives us a little glimpse into what Watchtower is all about.
Mm-hmm. Money.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I guess maybe one concluding thought, channel whatever God you want to, because it's plain to see that the God that's behind the Tetragrammaton doesn't exist. It's the organization in its place.
Well, you gotta ask, if God is behind this food distribution, it isn't just for the witnesses, because many of the churches are distributing food.
Right.
Many of the food banks, many of the food pantries are distributing food. The Catholic Church, I went into their thrift store, just a week or so ago, and they had all these bags of food and boxes of produce, and they told me to help myself. And I said, well, I'm not a member of your church. And she says, oh, that's okay, we have plenty, just help yourself. So, it isn't just Jehovah helping Jehovah's
Right.
Witnesses, his people. No, it's people helping one another during this pandemic.
It's called universal kindness.
Yeah.
It's not really driven by a religious entity. It's human kindness. Humans taking care of humans. And we could see a whole lot more of that these days.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of people trying to be, trying to selfishly steal the limelight because of the situation that's going on in the world right now, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So you all have a wonderful day. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.